The censoring of LGBTQ literature. Censorship, the suppression or prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc. that are considered obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security. Over the years, the censoring of literature has been an issue many students have been faced with, specifically the censoring of LGBTQ literature in high school. Censorship has been said to disconnect young adults from real-world problems. High school students need to be taught about the many issues society is faced with. Students go to school to get an education and become intellectual members of society. Therefore, they should be exposed to all the diverse communities the world has to offer. Censorship has gotten to the point where LGBTQ students do not feel accepted in their own schools. A 15-year-old student named Brent wrote a blog post on how he was turned away by his own school librarian when he asked for LGBTQ books and how she deemed those types of books as inappropriate. He stated, "The world does not need librarians who think they can decide what's inappropriate and what's not based on their personal prejudice. Librarians should not discriminate against LGBTQ students by excluding books containing this content from their library." As stated by Brent, librarians should aid students in finding books that comfort, challenge, and excite them, as well as help them to move beyond their limited experiences. Making LGBTQ stories a standard part of curriculum, just like other issues of diversity, serves to validate and promote acceptance of the experiences of LGBTQ youths who might otherwise not see themselves reflected in texts they read. It is essential for every student to be reflected in the text they read so it can resonate with them and add value to their lives. We know that for LGBTQ students to effectively navigate socially, they must be exposed to literature that represents their lives and enables them to be participatory learners in classrooms as well as expressive citizens in society. If LGBTQ students are not made to feel welcome in their own schools, it is highly unlikely that they will feel welcomed in society. LGBTQ literature is also needed to erase the stigma surrounding their community. This stigma is toxic to society as it produces violence from others who think the LGBTQ community should not exist. This is proven by the compiled Lambda organization statistics. In 2009, they reported that 97% of people who identified as LGBTQ regularly heard homophobic remarks, and that LGBTQ adolescents accounted for 30% of teen suicide. Many students who do not identify as LGBTQ may not fully comprehend the severity of the issues their LGBTQ peers face. According to research in the English Journal, 86% of LGBTQ students experience verbal harassment and 44% experience physical harassment at school on the basis of their sexual orientation. LGBTQ literature is beneficial to both LGBTQ students and heterosexual students. By exposing young adults to this type of literature, they can form a better understanding of the LGBTQ community, thus eventually building a more accepting society. Contemporary young adult literature can assist these adolescents through novels positively reflecting themselves and their situations and issues. LGBTQ literature is meant to raise awareness of this community for the safety of students. LGBTQ literature should be taught in high schools so every young adult can be educated on the LGBT community in a safe and facilitated environment. This could have the potential to erase the stigma surrounding this community and ultimately lower violence and suicide statistics that pertain to this community.